All right, today we're jumping right into the world of renewable energy in Nigeria. And we're going to a very specific, very famous, and, well, let's just say a very tricky marketplace in Lagos, the Alaba International Market. Now, if you're trying to get stable electricity, this is a place you might end up, but you absolutely have to be prepared. Okay, let's get into it.
And yeah, this quote from our source, InfoGuide NG, it just sets the stage perfectly, doesn't it? The stakes here are incredibly high. This isn't your average market. It's a place where you've got to be sharp, you've got to be vigilant. The dream of reliable power is real, for sure, but so is the danger of getting scammed.
So here's the deal. A whole lot of Nigerians are turning to solar to get away from a national grid that's, well, not so reliable. And solar is a fantastic solution. But the problem is, a major hub for all this equipment, a market like Alaba, has gotten a really bad reputation for counterfeit goods. And that just completely defeats the whole purpose of getting a reliable system in the first place. And we're not just talking about one faulty component. I mean, it'd be bad enough if you only had to worry about the solar panels. But the fraud? It's systemic. The inverter, the heart of the whole system, the box that turns the sun's DC power into the AC power your stuff actually runs on, that's also a huge target for these scams. So that brings us to the core of the scam, what we're calling the Great Label Switch. It's honestly pretty crude, but it is shockingly effective. Let's break down exactly how these sellers are fooling people, making their gears seem way more powerful than it really is. And the scam itself? It's just ridiculously simple. Scammers take an inverter with a lower capacity, and they just slap a new label on it. That's it. They change the kVA rating, the thing that tells you how much power it can handle. It's basically like they're selling you a car with a tiny engine, but they've put a big V8 sticker on the back.
I mean, just look at these numbers. This really shows you how big the deception is. A 2.5 kVA inverter, which is a decent unit for a home, suddenly becomes a 3.5 kVA, and then you get to the big stuff. A 7.5 kVA system is passed off as a massive 10 kVA system. The buyer thinks they're getting this incredible power boost, but the actual hardware inside is exactly the same.
And it doesn't stop there. Oh no, the exact same thing is happening with the solar panels. You might think you're buying a powerful 300-watt panel, right? Perfect for running more of your appliances? But what you've actually done is pay a premium for a 190-watt panel that just has a brand new sticker on it. That's a huge drop, like over a third less power than you were promised. Our source really just puts it bluntly here. There's no sophisticated tech behind this con. It's just a low-effort, high-impact fraud that takes advantage of buyers who, can't tell the difference just by looking at it. And the result is a system that will never perform the way you expect it to. So you have to ask, right? If this is happening all over the place and it's so damaging, why does it keep going on? Why is the market set up in a way that lets this happen? Well, our source suggests the root cause is something we can probably all relate to. And here we get to the kind of uncomfortable truth of it all. According to the source, a big part of the problem is just customer demand for super low prices. When sellers quote the real cost for a genuine 300-watt panel or a real 5 kVA inverter, a lot of customers just say, "Whoa, that's too expensive." And that creates this huge incentive for the dishonest sellers to offer a cheaper option that just looks the same on paper. Okay, so the main takeaway here is that you just can't trust the labels. You've got to take things into your own hands. Which brings us to the solution. You have to learn how to shine your eye. And that's not just a saying, it's a genuine survival strategy for this market. For anyone who's not familiar with it, shine your eye is classic Nigerian pidgin English. It just means pay close attention, be smart, don't let anybody pull a fast one on you. It's the exact mindset you have to have when you walk into a place like Alaba to make a big purchase. So how do you actually do it? Well, first off, knowledge is your best weapon. The more you know about solar installation, the better. Someone with a trained eye, for instance, can check the voltage and often spot a mismatch right away. And of course, that old saying absolutely applies here. If a price looks too good to be true, it almost definitely is. So be skeptical, ask a ton of questions, and be ready to just walk away. Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to understanding the real price of that bargain. The cash you save up front on a fake labeled piece of gear, it's really just a down payment on all the frustration and disappointment you're going to feel later when it can't do the job you paid for. And what's really interesting is that our source doesn't just talk to the buyers. They have a plea for the sellers too. And the advice is simple. Just be honest. It's better to sell a real product at its real price than to deal with an angry, disappointed customer who you sold a lie to. Honesty just builds a better, more trustworthy market for everybody in the long run. So we'll leave you with this final question.
which really gets to the heart of it all for anyone looking to invest in their own energy future. Is saving a few bucks today really worth the guaranteed disappointment when the lights go out tomorrow? It's a critical choice, and it's one that requires you to, as they say, shine your eye.